Bow, good morning, you beautiful people. Thank you guys for tuning into the Four Stooges. I wish a positive day, a productive day for you guys, and let's go out there and win the day. I am here with my four brothers, Anthony Boburn, Ryan Burnett, Malcolm Stowe,
Koala,
and I am Nick Johnson. We actually represent two different companies, and when we link up, we are known as the Four Stooges.
Yes, Lord.
And we're actually brought to you by those two companies, so...
Cleanursystem, let's all feel clean again. Like I said before, man, if you don't have CMOS, you need it now. It's AB and RB, man.
Right now, it's gonna make you feel like a man again.
Best CMOS on the lane. God no.
That's our island talk right there. Let's see what the fuck going on. Sorry for my leg.
Let's keep it positive. Right? The kids and the families are watching this.
It's passion. It's passion. I like
this is looking good right now on the camera. Y'all see it? It's a Nick and Mal show. It's your boy Mal, and that's my brother over there, Nick. It's the #1 show on the net.
Bow! Now, this is going to be a discussion episode, right? We're going to switch it up a little bit. We're not going to leave y'all without y'all positive affirmations. But it's going to be quick, and we're going to get into a real deep, very important conversation. So, let's start off with Anthony.
Let's start it off, y'all. So, good morning. Once again, I'm going to give you guys an affirmation. It's pretty short and simple, being that today is a discussion episode. My affirmation for today is, I am healthy, I am wealthy, and I am me. And when I say that, one, I'm healthy because I try to be healthy every day. Whether it's diet, whether it's moving, whether it's what I'm ingesting by my eyes, like what I'm watching and stuff. You know, I just try and keep that positive, uplifting. I am wealthy, basically piggybacking off I'm healthy. I ingest things that boost my financial literacy. You know, like I watch things, I try and study as much as I can, and I try and do things as well to become more wealthy. And then I am me. Like our brother Ryan said in an episode before this, I'm me, inside and out. Like, I don't care. Like, you could think however you think about me. It's not going to change who I am. I'm me, I'm AB, and that's how I'm rocking. The four-way.
Wow, that's so smooth.
That's up to me. Yeah, that was great, bro. I like that. That was smooth. Joy is my birthright. Is my affirmation. Is every day I want to wake up and I got to be joyful. I got to be happy and graceful that I am alive and I'm able to do what I'm supposed to do. And that's take the opportunities that I'm given and make the best of them. You know what I mean? No matter where I'm at in life, whether it be a job that I hate, find a way to make sure that job is giving you great experience. Find the right and the joy within anything you do, because then you'll be happy and you won't be sad. You won't be sitting there moping around. You're just going to be having that positive attitude and moving like a train.
Freight train.
I like that one, B. Mine is, my business is growing and expanding. And to keep it simple, just look at, I'm going off the Nick and Mal show. Shoot, if we look at the first episode we dropped compared to what we dropped recently, you know. Also, Instagram-wise too, social media presence, YouTube presence, you know, as people don't know, it is the week of, the second week of April. We actually hit our first 1K in views, you know, that's a big up.
Yeah, show gratitude.
Yeah. So that's definitely something, you know, you want to be proud of, and it shows the growth of our business in general. So just having our mindset, no matter what, as long as you're better than day one, you're in a good place, you know? That's what people want to understand.
Rome wasn't built in a day.
Yes, Lord.
My affirmation, to keep it real short, is I choose to forgive myself and others, right? Forgive others because life is easier. What do they say? If you hate somebody or you hold a grudge, they own rent space in your head or something.
Too much energy.
They living in your head rent free. That's too much energy, bro. Right? To hate someone is a lot of fucking energy. So forgive them. Forgive yourself. Listen, we're not perfect, but guess what? We are going to be great. So you make a mistake, fuck it, man. On to the next one. Use that L as a lesson. Let's move on. Forgive yourself and let's be great. Simple. Keep it positive. Have positive conversation with yourselves.
So we're all going to bring it back to you.
Yes, exactly.
We're all going to bring it back to you.
And just real quick to put a button on that, the show that y'all put me on to, The Secret, that's essentially what it talks about. Like, things are not perfect, bro, but it is going to be perfect. And ever since your thing was like, yo, I'm going to be wealthy, my thing is, yo, I'm going to have $10K in the bank account by the end of the year.
Thanks.
Do I see the way right now? Not really. It's going to be there.
It's going to be there.
I ain't even stressing. It's going to be there.
You ain't stressing, man.
It's going to be there, so. Now let's hop into the spicy discussion that we've been waiting for the whole time. Who wants to introduce it?
First, can we get a drum roll, please? So I guess Nick, you got it. You got it.
Yeah,
All right, go on.
So no, come on. It's actually perfect, right? So because we have a good set of young men here, we all want to be fathers one day, and I know we all want to be good fathers from knowing you guys, right? And not to make it too specific racially, we know in the black community there's a lot of great fathers, there's a lot of absent fathers, there are a lot of fathers that are present that aren't good fathers. So we have, it just like every community, right? So we have that, and the discussion we want to bring to you guys is the effect on the child, whether a father is around or a father is not around, right? And I think we have different experiences here, so it's going to be a dope conversation. So, like Ann said, so yeah, we laid it out. Having a father, not having a father. Let's go. Who want to start it off?
Let's get it. I guess. Who wants to start?
I got it.
Go ahead, Ryan. Let's go, Ryan.
So growing up, I knew my father. I knew where he lived. He lived so Mount Vernon is weird. It's like 4 square miles, like 4 different exits. You get one exit to the Bronx, one exit to New Rochelle, one exit to Pelham, and then I think one exit to like Yonkers or some shit.
Mm.
So it's like 4 different ways you can go out. But right at the borderline, my pops live in the border of the Bronx and Mount Vernon. Mm-hmm. So like I would have the luxury of, I could walk to his crib. It would be a couple blocks, 20-minute walk probably, but little kids had bikes. My man's had a bike, hop on the pegs, go to my dad's crib. You feel me? It was cool. I seen him work on houses. Like I seen him gut out a whole basement. Walked in, it was a cool basement, and then he guts the whole basement. I said, I want to start over. I'm like, why would you want to start over? Like it was valid. You feel me? So it's like he's a handy dude. That's kind of like and I like handy shit, but I was never really around him to do all that extra shit. Knowing him probably, he lived with me since I was 6 to 8, and after that kind of just deteriorated, just went out of the picture, didn't really want to do nothing with his kids, he didn't really want to do much with us. Mother and father co-parenting, they always blame one or the other. You're telling the kid this, you're telling the kid that, you're trying to fill their head up with this so they don't fuck with me, or vice versa. And none of that ever happened, but it's just all like, when I got older, I started to think like, why didn't my pops want to deal with me and my sister? Mm-hmm. You feel me? Why didn't he want to be in our life? Why did he want to come to football games, basketball games, baseball games? I would go chill with my boys and them and their fathers, and that's just, to me, I'm like, damn, I couldn't do this with my pops. But to them, they chill with their pops and they come to the game. They tell them they're free pointers after the game and everything. Go out to eat some McDonald's, have a nice meal. I'm like,
did that hurt you at all?
I wouldn't say it hurt me. I think when I was young, I was so numb to it that I didn't even think about it, bro. I seen my mother go by herself, and kudos to Mom Dukes. Never brought a dude home. Never sat there, kissed a dude in front of me. Flirted with a dude, and I seen mad dudes flirt my mom in front of my face on some shit. You feel me? And it was I would see it like they would just flirt with her. She would just use it to her advantage, and dudes get what she want. Mm-hmm. Discount for Mavis discount tires. You know? Little shit like that. But it's like I see my mother, the soldier she was, to just she probably was an independent woman, young girls. I don't need no dude to do what I gotta do. She don't have a crazy job. One of her sons kicked a friend in. You feel me? Ends up smoking weed and it gets laced, and now he schizophrenic, loses his mind, he doesn't know anything. Feel me? Older siblings, she's into nursing and everything. Ends up having Paxton. For y'all that know Paxton, that's his mom's. My nephew. And then you have me and my sister, we go to college, we go a different route. We go to college, do what we want to do. Mom says she wants to be a lawyer, doctor, this and that, but you go your own route. Lexi wants to be a teacher, I want to be an accountant, cool, whatever the case is. But to just see Mom Dukes not really have a job, go straight to it by herself, get through Catholic school for both of her kids, and then go through college. And I'm like, you don't feel fazed by this or nothing? It's like, shorty, just go through it. Mm-hmm. So it's like, she's like my father, bro. Mm. You feel me? Like, I didn't really have much teaching points with my pops. I can't really talk much about it, but the non-existence. Mm-hmm. You feel me? And to go to your point was, did it hurt me? I wouldn't even say I even thought about it. I told you I was numb to it, but then now I'm out of college and I had to think about it. I'm like, damn. Like, that shit probably did take a toll on me. Maybe I don't know how to sit here and be in a relationship or love someone or see what love is actually looking like. Because I've never really seen it.
Even on a deeper level.
On a deeper level, you feel me?
On a deeper level, let me throw this out to you. Maybe you just haven't unpacked it yet.
That's true.
That too. I may have never unpacked it, but my thing is, how can I unpack it?
So actually, this is one of the things that happens when a child doesn't have a father in the home. Like you said, you were numb to it. I was numb to it too. A little bit about my background too, because my dad wasn't really around like that. And he was there, you know what I mean? And I always say, it's not that my dad didn't love me or anything like that. It's just that he didn't know how to be a dad. And also just his personality. I'm sure he went through some traumatic stuff. If you guys were to meet my dad, he's a different dude. He's very different, you know what I mean? Not really affectionate, doesn't show love. So when I moved to America, we kind of didn't have that relationship. You know what I mean? My dad was in certain things where I couldn't live with him. From a certain age, I just couldn't live with him. He literally lived right next door to me. And he would give me whatever I want, you know what I mean? But I couldn't live with him, and that's where the separation started. And he didn't have the foresight to see, okay, let me spend quality time with my son and make father-son time. You know what I mean? He was just going through life. Mm-hmm. If I needed something, he'd give it to me. When I came to America, we barely talked.
Wait,
right?
Not to cut you off. So he moved you into a house next door just so you didn't stay physically with him.
My mom said I couldn't live with him. And I have a big family in Trinidad.
Okay.
So I was living with my aunts, my uncles, my aunt who I consider my second mom, my grandmother. I had a big family.
Right.
Very big, strong family. I was never like out of the loop. And on top of that, my mom was also in America. So not only was my mom in America making a better life for me and her, my dad wasn't there either. Sometimes he might be arrested.
Doing his own thing.
Yeah.
His own life.
And what I realized is, and I want to keep the main topic, I never felt it because I had such a great family. And I thought that, it doesn't really matter. Like you said, I'm numb to it because you had a mother that loved you.
Right.
You never felt like a victim.
Right.
So you never felt nothing was wrong. Right? But that's actually one of the things that happens when you don't have a father, is that you would think you become more vulnerable when you don't have a father, right? Because what does a man teach you? How to be macho. But you become so vulnerable as a kid, you put up such a crazy wall to protect that vulnerability.
Type thing.
And that's why you hear a lot of kids who don't have fathers say, I don't need a father. That's a wall that wounded animal inside there put up so that wound is never touched anymore.
Right. Never heals.
It never heals. And that's why I pointed out to you, maybe you just haven't unpacked that yet.
Yeah.
Because for me, I'm going to be honest, the reason why I'm passionate about this over the past few weeks, I realized, like you said, like little things like my friends talking about what their dad teaches them. I'm like, fuck, I wasn't taught that.
Yeah.
And now I understand why. You understand what I'm saying?
No, that's a fact.
Oh, yeah.
And I take that as, to go right off that point, I got uncles. You feel me? And those are people, not having a father, you try to look for mentors.
Yes.
And when I was in high school, went to Old Boy Catholic High School, try to look for a mentor, somebody just give me the next jump to life or whatever. Go to college, you try to find the same thing, and it's like after college, now it's life, so it's like why should I be seeking all this different, but then it's like, you gotta play the hand that you're dealt.
Mm-hmm. Yes, 100%.
It's there for a reason. Maybe I have to go and outsource and reach to who I have in my corner to find out the answer I need to find.
And maybe it makes you a better dad. Let's look at LeBron.
Right.
And we're going to bring this just slightly back to my affirmation. Your worst days are your best days. You think LeBron is such a great father just because? No, he felt the pain, what it felt like not to have a dad.
Yeah.
And he said he came out of that pain saying, I'm going to be a great dad.
Legit.
You feel me? That's why he's so motivated to be in his kids' lives and be present and be the person he is.
Legit.
So, yeah, I would say that, like, being emotionally locked off. And real quick, right, so as I was saying, I'm going through this. I'm trying to figure it out. Okay,
right.
What are the deficiencies that I have because I didn't have that father figure there? And I was literally watching a video on YouTube called The Father Wound. And it was this guy, big guy, kind of like me. And I automatically started relating to him. And he's like a professor. And he's talking about it. And midway through the video, I walked to the break room. And there's a guy sitting there. And long story short, me and him get into a conversation about how he's a mama's boy. I'm like, damn, why are you a mama's boy? I'm a mama's boy too. Oh, my dad wasn't there. I'm like, oh shit. And then he starts explaining to me how he went to years of therapy for that. It's an issue that some people really got to go to therapy for, bruh.
Yeah, it's definitely a big issue, especially nowadays, bro. Like, I think we're the generation right after baby boomers, right?
We're at the baby boomers, Gen X, Gen Y, Gen Z, something like that.
Yeah, there was a time in the world where there was just babies being made, bro.
Yeah,
like
legit.
crazy, like I think nowadays people think about having a kid.
Yes.
Back then there were so many accidents, quote unquote, but people just not giving a fuck. People just let me go have sex with her, or let me go have sex with him, and it's just like free willy. That's how baby boomers.
What played a role in that too? Probably how easy it was to get a job.
It was a good job too.
Security.
Yeah, and everything had a pension plan to it.
Yeah.
Every job.
Let me lock somebody up.
You can.
That's
You
what
can though.
buses.
Everything had a pension plan to it. Any job.
Yeah.
Now you be lucky.
So the reason why I pointed out that conversation with him, because it made me feel better. I was like, yo, you're not alone. It literally made me feel better, like you're not alone. This is something that everybody goes through, and it's going to make you a better man from it. And I hope there's one person watching this that is either going through something and thinking about that haven't unpacked it, but is maybe affecting your life because you refuse to open that Pandora's box to get over to the other side of the river. Allow this to motivate, like you're not alone. This happens, and let it motivate you to be a better father.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
For a fact. I like to just say like it makes me fearless. Like if I can get through that, I can get through anything.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
If he wasn't there to answer my question before, I can answer it now. You know what I'm saying? So.
And if some of you, I just wanted to read some stats real quick for you guys. If you guys are wondering, then we're gonna get to the positive side because I know Mal and Ant, you guys have great fathers.
Right, and not to cut you off, but I wouldn't say it's positive because we have bad days too. Like our fathers are humans too, just like your fathers are, and it's like you said, you were with your dad. He was almost like the best dude at first. When you seen him gutting out the basement, he's showing you all this stuff. But then it's like he did a 360. You feel me? It's like he's not even there no more. So it's like our fathers were there. Like my father was there. I know Guala's father was there, and there was days where it was almost like my father wasn't there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Theoretically, he was still there, but not everything is golden. You feel me?
Right. Exactly. And that's a good point too for me to understand that even if you do have it there, doesn't mean that it's always perfect.
Right.
Because our parents are just people that happen to have kids, and then, as we said, they go through those bad days to grow. So
We tend to forget they are human, bro.
Just regular niggas, bro.
I mean, like I can, like from my own experience, I can't fault my pops. I don't know what was going on in his life. I gotta go talk to him and be like, yo, when I was 8 years old, what was going on in your life?
Thank you.
For you to just up and just dip. It could have been money issues. He might have had a bounty on his head. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because I never talked to him to get that answer.
You're right, and that's a great point. A lot of people hate their parents when this happens. I actually feel more sorry for my dad than anything because I know my dad wanted to be a part of my life. I know my dad loves me. I know he does because he's proven that. But I really be wanting to talk to him like, yo, what's up with you? Like, what happened? You know what I mean? So maybe he just isn't. I don't know. I don't know what
we don't know the story.
I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's kind of the issue with not having a relationship with your father if he's alive. Y'all, it's hard to have those conversations when y'all don't have just like a basic relationship.
Legit.
You know? Yeah.
All that becomes sticky.
Yeah, it's weird, awkward.
Yeah.
Get to the stats.
I want to read the stats because maybe it'll help somebody, bro. You feel me?
Numbers don't lie, y'all. I heard it here. Numbers don't lie.
Hold on. This is just a promiscuity, teen pregnancy. Far more likely to. Okay, let me read this. Delinquency and youth crime, including violent crimes. 85% of youth in prison have an absent father. 85% of young people in prison have an absent father. Fatherless children are more likely to offend and go to jail as adults. Right? Drug and alcohol abuse. Fatherless children are more likely to smoke, drink alcohol, and abuse drugs in adulthood. 90% of runaway children and homeless people have been fatherless. Right? And the list goes on. Right? Kids who perform better in school kids who have a father are 33% more likely to get A's. right?
That structure.
I
think
was gonna say it
the
makes perfect sense. You
the
got two minds teaching a kid rather than one. There's more information. You feel me? It physically has to make sense. Like,
and
you know what I'm saying?
And like a lot of kids feel that abandonment. Like, yo, why did my dad wanna not be there? And then you kind of you start self-loathing. Like, is something wrong with me? You take it out on yourself instead of having that confidence from day one. Like, yo, I'm worthy. Because my dad is there, my mom is there. I'm worthy of people's attention. I'm worthy of everything.
Right.
So let me attack the world with that confidence instead of attacking the world with insecurity. Like, damn, like.
Yeah, being timid.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't want this to be a somber topic. I want it to be a lesson.
Yeah.
A lesson to people.
A lesson, and you guys are hearing it from experience, like first-hand experience. Like, we're not just reading off of paper. You know, we're telling you guys how we were brought up. Like, granted, we have a very well diverse circle that we can do that, and I'm very excited that we can. But I had a question for both of you. So, going back a few steps, when was it that you realized, like, all right, enough is enough? Well, I wouldn't even say enough is enough. But when did you realize, like, okay, why did he leave? Like, when did it hit you? Like, damn, my father's not around now. I want answers. When did that hit you? Like, that moment where it was like, all right, I need answers now. Like, I can't just keep thinking about, I need answers. Like, you feel me? When did that hit you? Like, was it when you guys were kids?
I go first. Okay, so for me, it's different. As I said, it's weird, bro, because I had such a great family. I never thought anything was wrong. Just recently, me and Mal was on a podcast a few months ago, and I was like, bro, I had a perfect family life. I had nothing to complain about. Mm-hmm. And it's literally recently in the past, probably 2 months, that I've been started asking myself these questions and came to the conclusions from reading, like, oh, that's what it is. So, and as I said, I never had to ask the question why he wasn't there. I know why he wasn't there. Because he was not doing what he was supposed to do. And because he wanted me there, right? He built this house. He had a room for me. But that's just like, that's like telling your girl you want her, but you're cheating all the time. Like, how, or whatever the case may be, like, you're not showing that. So his actions never change, which is understandable. And then when I moved to America, as I said, the communication in the relationship wasn't there. But when did I start asking questions? A few months ago. I started asking questions like, yo, why? And how is this affecting me? That was my biggest thing. Because I'm always in the mode of self-improvement. And I feel like I was trying to fix certain things within myself just by saying, okay, I'm going to fix it. And then you realize, yo, it's a habit. Why is this a habit? What is the deep-rooted cause of this issue?
So what was the habit that made that come to realization? Like, maybe this is because I didn't have a father. Maybe this habit is formed because I didn't have a father to tell me otherwise. Like, what'd you realize within that episode with Wall a few months ago where this came in your head? Like, what was that thing that popped in your head? Like, all right, nah, like how?
It is so much, but I'll give you a few. Number one is so we talk about a lot of these kids going to prison, right? Mm-hmm. Why do they go to prison? They're emotionally unstable. They're emotionally unstable. They get these feelings, and that's why a big thing for me right now, emotions are just emotions. Just feel them. You don't have to act on them. A lot of these kids are not emotionally intelligent because your father, his parenting style is loving, but there are clear boundaries, and kids learn to obey authority and act within an emotional umbrella when something goes awry. Because when your father's in the household, you need to respect that authority. That's why a lot of these kids go to prison, because they don't respect authority and their emotions run wild. So they commit murder for stupid shit, right? Mm-hmm. What do they say? 70% of people in prison don't have fathers. Right. You ever hear people tell you the reason why they killed somebody? Oh, it was some bullshit, bro. It was some bullshit, nigga.
Legit bullshit.
But why is that though? Emotions runs wild. That's one of the things that I kind of realized. Like, yo, you need to be better able at holding your emotions in check. And for me, I don't lash out. I don't fight and stuff like that. But I internalize it, and I realize that's not healthy, right? Because internalizing it, you're not harming anybody, but you're harming yourself. So why do these emotions pop up for the slightest things? Oh, started doing some reading. Oh, that's probably the number one thing when it comes to not having a father around. You know what I mean?
I like that.
Previous things from my other relationship too, like Rye said, like it definitely affects the way that you operate in relationships. So previous things in my last relationship, doing research, you realize, oh, that's why I'm like that. And I was telling Mal this, right? I was actually telling my mom this too. Who we are as kids, bro, we don't remember what we felt as kids, but best believe those emotions we felt still affect us today. We may not know it.
Or know how to feel it.
But best believe. And it's through you talking to family members and doing your own research on yourself, you might, oh wait, it makes sense.
Right.
So I don't know how I felt as a kid when my dad was arrested and my dad wasn't there and my mom left. But in my last relationship, I kind of seen those, and this is afterhand. Like I said, this is in the last few months. I started realizing, like, oh, that's why I acted like that. Mm-hmm. That's why that was that way. That's why I was attached, because I was afraid of losing. Mm-hmm. Because that 5-year-old Nick, who lost, probably was scarred, and that little child inside of me that I'm not even aware of probably was kicking and screaming, "No, you can't lose anymore. You can't lose another loved one." Does that make sense?
No, I like that.
So those were the things that I kind of realized within myself that there was an issue.
Okay. Well, then,
Yeah,
all right, how about
for
you?
me, I want to say it was after grad school. I was somewhat like 20, I was like 23 at the time, 24, 23 or 22, one or the other. But that's when I kind of was just like, life. Like, I got a paycheck. I had to look at the paycheck. Taxes coming out, this, that. I asked my mom, but she doesn't really know. You know what I mean? She's out of the game. She didn't work for so long. So it's like, who I turn to? I don't have anybody to turn to. Kind of got to just take the ride by myself at this point. Or just ask mentors, but then like, other people who work with you may not have the best intentions or even know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? So, looking for answers to like, yo. And I actually went to his house on my birthday. Knocked on the door and everything. I just wanted an answer. Even if you would say, yo, get the fuck off my lawn. I would be like, I bet. That's all you had to say. Mm-hmm. I get the picture. I get the point. Mm-hmm. At that moment when I really wanted answers, it wasn't answers I was really looking for from him. It was answers within myself that I was trying to seek. You feel me? Like, if I wanted to be great and I'm like, yo, how do I go about life? I may not know at that moment, but I'll figure it out. It's like how you said being a parent. You got gonna just have a baby and like, oh, I'm an amazing parent. You don't know anything yet. You about to find out.
Find out.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm
thrown into that fire.
And it goes off to another tangent where you said football is my focus. I was so focused on football, I didn't know what life was. I was so numb to a father. I didn't even think about that shit, bro. Didn't even care. I was so more so like, yo, I gotta just graduate college, make mom happy. Little sis, I'm like a role model, so I gotta make sure I do this. I can't fail off. Little Paxton just got born sophomore year. He gotta see a positive example.
There's a lot on your shoulders. You're not even paying attention to yourself.
I'm not even paying attention to myself, bro. To the point when I got out of college, when I graduate college and go into grad school and stuff, now I have to focus on me. But I don't know how to do that. Mm-hmm. First time living off campus. You feel me? Like, who am I to talk to about this? I have to go through it. You feel me? So those worst days I have to see that to really get better, bro. You know what I mean? And those questions I had, they solely answers started following behind it. Right. I would fuck up, cool, whatever, but then you figure it out. Right. It's like you have 10 Gs, you don't know what the fuck to do with it. You blow it and you like, yo, what happened? Mm-hmm. You get 10 Gs again, you better have a plan.
And I'm sorry, this is going to be really, really quick. Like Rai said, he wanted to help everybody else, but he wasn't helping himself, right? I forgot what the name of the book is. I think it's 21 Ways to Win with People, right? It's a book teaching you how to dominate just life and win with people, because we all know people are valuable assets. First chapter is you have to win with yourself first. Simply, you have to win with yourself before you try to win with other people. So you got to figure out your shit before you help anybody else. Like they say on the plane, you got to put your mask on before you put a homeboy mask on.
Mm-hmm. And one thing I want to go back off that stat. You said 80% of people, teens get locked up that don't have a father. Mm-hmm. And I also, with that stat, yet again, they said without a father, but we don't understand who the mother was. You don't understand how the type of person that mother was. True. You guys had stand-up mothers and positive role models, as you can see, the way you guys came out, and you understand? So with that stat, like, that's a great stat to know, but that mom could have been not in the picture either.
Great point, Mal. And
she
I think
could not be in the picture either.
And that's probably why me and Rye are here doing this positive things. Even though there's a lot of questions to be answered, we're not in the street or whatever the case may be.
We got like a few more minutes. One question I want to ask you guys is like, what did you see in your mother that made you into the person who you are today?
I want to say that fearless savage. Y'all used to call me the Sav, you feel me? And I never really thought about it. I thought about it one day. I'm like, why do they call me savage? Like, some people say you're just a savage at life. You're a savage on the football field. You just cool, calm, collected. You just look like some savage dude. Like, and I'm like, I had to sit back and think. I'm like, yo, who do I get this shit from? My mom fake walk around like that. Like, you feel me? Quiet assassin. Like, you feel me? You don't know what she about to do, but you know she powerful and can do something. You know what I mean? So it's just like that little savage in her. Like, you know what I mean? I think that's what I got. I mean, bro, just get shit done, bro. Like, why mope about it? You feel me? If I'm gonna go broke to make sure my son have a great education, I'm gonna go broke to make sure his life is better than mine. You feel me? That's how that was her mantra, and that's how I live. You feel me?
I couldn't answer that question to no different thing than what I said. That's exactly it right there.
Legit.
You realize, and also you have in the back of your mind, yo, it's only her, and she's putting in this kind of work. And I'm sure that's why a lot of men who come from single mothers are mother's boy, because you have a different love and affinity for a woman just holding it down by herself and being a dad. Even though she really can't be a dad, she's not a man.
Yeah, I couldn't ask her certain questions.
But she was a man to the best of her ability.
Right.
She was a structure. So.
And one thing I want to end is stating this too, because I work in an elementary school, right? And if you don't have a father in your household, here's another problem that plays in the picture. When your kid is going to elementary school, majority of teachers are women. It's not a problem as a man to be growing up, like a young child, a young boy to be growing up seeing women, but you gotta understand that kid is seeing women 24 hours of the day. You understand what I'm saying? Think about it. He goes to school Monday through Friday for 6 hours. There is no male in the elementary school. I had one male elementary teacher. It was a white guy. You understand? And we could talk about New York City in general. New York City, you know what they do. Majority of the people that do go to school for teaching on white people, you go to an all black neighborhood, right? And you teach there for 4 years, you get your loans forgiven, or they pay half and everything. You understand? Yeah. So that's what a lot of inner city schools do. And that's why a lot of people will take those jobs. And yet again, there's some people that love those type of kids, but some people don't know how to
they'll just take the job and don't understand what they're getting into.
Exactly. You know, and at the end of the day, they're living a better life because they're getting their loans forgiven. You understand? Or half of it. But I started thinking, I'm like, why? Because I had one student, and I was telling him, I'm like, can you sit down, you know, giving him direction, and he would look at me like weird. Come to find out, grown men are coming in and out the house, so he sees a male, he knows if something bad happening. You know, he's not here to stay. Who is he to tell me something? Think about it. He go home, he got umpteen sisters, men coming in and out of his life, older men, and when he go to school, it's a whole bunch of women taking care of him.
And the 1 or 2 men he sees a white man, he doesn't even look at him as a figurehead or something like that. Yeah. Because that's not him. That's a great point you said. And also, I kind of realized this about myself with my mom being my hero, like I'm sure your mom, I'm sure all of our moms is our hero. When you model yourself after a woman as a young man, you also run into certain issues.
Oh, yeah.
Because I want, as you said, your mom is that hard to figure out. I want to be like mom. I want to do, just like dad, you want to do everything like that. Mom fills that role, but when you're 23, you probably shouldn't be modeling yourself after a woman.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And that's for me personally. That's where the realizing of the 2 minutes. That's where I started realizing the issues of, oh fuck, you didn't have a father figure. You know what I mean? Because it's like, oh shit, I'm kind of like my mom in this way, but that's not it. Ended off on a positive note. I want to say this. We don't want any of our kids. We don't want to father any fatherless kids, right?
Right.
So one exercise that I think we should all do is envision ourselves 20 years from now, 30, 40, 50. What do we want our kids to be saying about us? Our kids are on a podcast like this. They're talking about their fathers. what do we want them to say? Let's all just go one thing, and then let's all say one thing real quick, and how do we make that a reality? Mm-hmm. So I would want my kids to say, my dad was present and he cared about me.
Yeah.
You know?
And for me, I guess I would say basically what you said, but my dad showed me something I never thought I would see.
I would definitely want my future kids to just let me know I was the greatest savage they've ever seen.
Respect. That their dad loved them.
Simple. And let's envision that in ourselves. You guys come up with your own. Put it in the comment section. What do you want your kids as a man to say about you in 20 years? And let's make it happen.
Let's get it.
You know the
The four-way, y'all.
Have a great day. Have a good morning.
Stay blessed, baby.
Yes, sir.
See you next week.
I just crossed another nigga over, tell him guard up. Double tap the button up on the key, the car gon' start up. I lost some members at the early age, they left me scarred.